Okay, it is the official season tip-off show of Breaking It Down with Blue. And Mickey, we are here I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pan around here real quick. This is, we haven't talked since all of this took place. But Dawson Springs now has, as you can see here, folks, a weight room. And this was something that, in fact, the last time that you and I talked last year, when we were sitting in the gym, we were talking about this very project and it getting started. Well, now it's a reality. You guys have been working here. I saw it back, in June or July, something like that. I come over one day and you said, hey, you got to come over and see the weight room. And I did. So I come over and visited with you and saw the room. And it wasn't even this full at that point.
No. We've been lucky with some donations from people, which we appreciate. And,
and if you want to, go ahead and shout some of those folks out.
Well, we like these right here, YMCA.
Nice.
You know, Snapper Goins kids. And they gave us that red one right there. All right.
You talking about Case? Case, you said Gobin?
Gobin, yeah.
Yeah, Case Gobin and them from over Creighton County.
Yeah. I say Snapper because that's their dad.
Yeah.
It was
good
both
kids.
Those boys. Yes, great kids. Both of them helped load that up in my truck with my boy. And, we've had some benches. I mean, I'm leaving out some people, but because I just don't have the list in front of me. And then we were lucky enough that we raised some money and, get the weights. And, Jacob Dever has helped quite a bit getting people to donate some things. So it was a community effort. And we're proud of it. And, we're still working out the kinks on how to get everybody involved because now, we want everybody to benefit from this. This isn't just a basketball room. And I know some teachers have been in here working out. Mm-hmm. So it's, once we get going more here in the school year and get a schedule where everybody benefits, because we're still going to lift during basketball season. We're not going to cut the weight training down. We're still going to lift. So it's going to benefit our kids and our faculty and, something to be proud of. There's still stuff that I want to get, some kettlebells. If anybody doesn't want kettlebells and you want to come up off of them, hey, we'll take them.
There you go.
We're happy with the direction it's going, and again, everybody that donated and helped out, thank you.
Now, of course, this is like has been in years past. If you happen to have a question, you can send it in because I watch as it comes up through here. And I'm able to see them. So, if you have a question for myself or Mickey, we'll be more than happy to answer those questions as we go along. And that always helps the show go too, because sometimes I run out of questions. But so today, October 15th, 2023, this is officially day one of the 2023-2024 basketball season. A lot of people don't realize that this is the first day that you can officially have basketball practices and things. Of course, now you guys are not. It's Sunday, so the weight room is quiet. In fact, Snapper and Shelly Gobin here just said good luck this season, Coach.
Thank you.
And I thank a lot of them. Thank y'all for watching.
And let them know I still have to bring their strap back. I have not been to their way since they let me use that to get that here. So
I'll tell you what, if you want to, you can give that to me. I'll probably see them in football game Friday night.
Okay, I'll do that. Good. Because I don't like borrowing stuff and never giving it back. But I have not been able to get that way since they let me borrow it to bring that in.
But like I said, it's been a busy summer.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys did. You guys did a bunch of stuff over the summer, with some ball games and things like that. The summer workouts. You yourself, I can tell you've lost a little bit of weight, and you're having to work on some issues. Proud of you there.
Thank you.
You look a lot better. Look like you feel a lot better than you did last time I seen you.
It's knock on wood. Everything's right now going the right direction. It's been a 5-year struggle, and some of it was self-induced, some of it was just not getting medicines right or getting the diet right, so to speak. But we seem to be on the right track now. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but right now I am the smallest I've been since I've been to Dawson. Well, actually in 5 years. When I was studying martial arts with my boys so much, when we got our black belts together, I was around 270 when that happened. I think I actually got down to 265 before I had my ACL surgery. And once I had that ACL surgery, things kind of just went a different direction. Part of it was my fault, obviously, self-inflicted wounds by not eating right. And, you know, the biggest problem was I was worried about my blood sugar because Holly kept saying, hey, we got to get this under control. We don't want you going blind. We don't want you, you know, having a heart attack. We don't want you losing a limb, whatever. You know, even possibly dying. And I've never bought into the fact that I truly had diabetes too. I'm just being honest with you, because I've always thought, well, I do right, it'll be right.
And Wilford Brimley didn't call you up, did he?
And so we now just recently, I'm at my fasting number is where it's supposed to be when I wake up in the mornings.
Good.
So that's you know, now I kid because I always say, well, when I get to this point, it's time for cake and ice cream. And she's like, no, that's not going to happen. So the thing about it is, if I'm going to preach to the boys to do better, then I have to do better. If I'm not doing the things I need to do, like which you caught me tonight, and I was winded, you know, I was winded already from working out here. And, you know, and I like doing it because it gives me, here alone, I don't know what it is. I don't like doing any of it with other people around. And it's not because I'm embarrassed about anything or anything. Like, I'm not in competition. You know, I'm just trying to be better today compared to yesterday. That's the direction I want the kids to go. So if I'm going to preach that, then I have to be an example of that too.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize when it comes to coaching is coaches lead by example. And if you're not leading by example, then you're going about it the wrong way. And I mean, you know, that is, that's the absolute truth. And I mean, we see that throughout our region here. You know, we see a lot of good coaches. And the thing is, and I'm going to say this, and I know I've been hard on coaches in the past. I've been hard on everybody. But here's the one thing I want to say. We're really lucky here and I'm going to go as far as the first, second, and third region. We have a lot of really, really good coaches. We've had, unfortunately for us, some really, really good coaches hang it up this past year.
Yeah.
The shout out to Coach Hale. I mean, you know, no better man. But, and the thing is, we haven't talked since that. I mean, you know, you can't beat that guy.
No, he did great things there in Henderson, great things. And, you know, it's his boy who's got big shoes to fill, but, you know, anybody would.
But who better to fill them than your own son?
Again, I think they went the right direction. And, again, nobody asked my opinion on that. That's just me talking to you that I think that went the right direction. And hopefully, you know, for their sake, because, you know, again, it's funny to say this now because I would never said it 30, 40 years ago. You know, I want Henderson to do well, you know, because I taught a lot of those kids that's still there and had interactions with them. So I don't hate Henderson obviously like I did when I was playing for Maroon and Gold at Webster County. You know, obviously we didn't like them too much back then, and they still probably don't, to be honest with you. But you know, after you get around kids and you realize that, you know, your job in life is to make kids better than yourself, it doesn't really matter where they're from, you know.
Exactly.
They could be, you know, one-time interaction, but that one-time interaction, try to make sure you're doing something to help that kid. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we should want everybody to be better than us that are younger than us.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, you know, even in doing the job that I do, I want these kids at all these schools to be better, to be good kids, to be good citizens. And I mean, And sometimes I'm a little hard on some of them, but I'm never harder on them than I would be my own kids. And I have no more expectations out of them than I do my own. And yeah, there's going to be times I'm going to call your kids out and you're not going to like it, but I'm not going to care, because I want your kids to be the best version of themselves that they can be and not do stupid things. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Folks who have been following the page are probably following along and knowing what I'm talking about. But, you know, I make decisions like that, not only for the channel, but also for all of us, because I want all of our kids to be better.
Yeah,
And I mean, it would be the same. It don't matter what school it is. It don't matter what color the school is. It's the same across the board for everybody. But so this year we've got, and Shannon Troutman just come in here. I see him watching. I want to congratulate him on Coach of the Year for softball. Shannon, we're very proud of you, and congratulations. That's well deserved, and just an all around good guy. Speaking of Henderson.
They're doing great things there with their softball team, and they will continue to do so. And again, I'm not taking anything away from him. I like his support system with his coaches. He's got a good support system. He really does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Parker and Chris Kemp, you know, them haven't been dealing with them when those girls were younger. And see, that's the thing that I'm trying to still work out here. I got behind because of the tornadoes, but I still want to get us in a situation where, you know, we've got a feeder system for boys and girls in the sports, you know, where it's Dawson, even if it's just once a month. Because I know we've got some players right now that play for some travel teams that it's just them. There's no other Dawson kids on there. So for me being a sports guy and me understanding the numbers on how successful kids are that play in team sports, and again, I'm not even talking about playing past high school. I'm just talking about the high school level, and then those that are lucky enough, the 7% that are lucky enough to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. And then if you're talking D1 player, then you're talking 1%. 1%.
And I'm going to tell you, you look at how many D1 players are coming out of this area now.
Well, softball, I want to give the Western Kentucky coaches, and again, I'm going to take some heat from this because with me being a softball guy and I represent Southern Indiana, all of Kentucky, you know, this is a tough statement for people to hear, but, you know, go look at the facts. You know, Western Kentucky softball is solid. From Scott County West, extremely solid with some good people and good coaches. Now, that's not saying that there's not anybody good east of that. That's not what I'm saying. But when you look at the tradition and the past winning, it's been Scott County West for a while now.
And I mean, these are teams that beat up on each other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, one of the best games that I've watched in the last few years is watching Henderson play McCracken County.
Yes.
I mean, that's just a barn burner of a ball game. You know, watching Marshall County and these teams play each other, even, you know, in our own districts and region and stuff. Just some great softball here. So, yeah, I mean, you know, this is a very good area for that. And I mean, you know, of course, Hunter Jennings says, tell you good luck. Of course, love Hunter. You know, he's my guy.
We need more Hunter Jennings in this world.
Sure. The world will be a lot better place.
Amen. Amen.
But the thing is, I mean, you know, here, you know, basketball season is upon us. You know, fall sports is officially tipped off today. You know, or not fall sports, winter sports, and luckily for some people, I know they're ready for fall sports to be over with because it's been ugly this year, and you know, it's kind of like basketball be here in a minute. But the thing is, you know, that's why we play the games, you know. But this summer, you guys have done a lot of things. I mean, you know, of course, we had a scrimmage here with Lyon County, which was good to see those boys and see Coach Perry. Of course, Travis was not here that game.
Correct.
And we didn't get to see Brady play because he was kind of nursing it just a little bit. He was a little sore. But we got to see Jack and a few others get out here and show their stuff and show why they're the Lions. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's who everybody's chasing. I mean, it's not me trying to kiss up to them. It's just fact. You know, they're trying to defend for the third year in a row. Until you knock them off, you know, that's who you're chasing.
And what was it Ric Flair always used to say? To be the man, you got to beat the man.
And then with the woo afterwards.
But I mean, of course, now these Panthers, these kids have grown.
Yes, sir.
You got a little more height.
Yes, sir.
They've been in the weight room. They got a little more strength.
Yes, sir.
You've been out. They've been out running 5Ks on cross country, so they're in a little better shape than they was maybe this time last year. And we're hoping to see something a little more out of them. Your thoughts on what we're going to see out of this Panthers team, and then I'm going to throw this curveball at you because I know you like hitting them curveballs. And I'm going to just
especially if you hang them.
And I'm not hanging this one. I'm just going to buzz it by you. Anything that you can say, you know, I wish the kids would work a little harder maybe on this. So there, it's a two-part question.
You want me to attack that question first?
You can take it either way you want to.
I'll attack the curveball first. For me, it's the matter of focus and doing what you're supposed to do every day. Holding them accountable to show up every day. No excuses. I'm not listening to excuses, not because I'm trying to be mean. I had to change my mentality. I learned more this summer about myself and the game of basketball by talking to people that's been doing a lot longer at a whole lot higher level than me for many, many years. And, you know, without name dropping, I'm not trying to name drop, but those that I got to sit and talk to, it's pretty much success. The blueprint's out there. You have to decide whether you want to follow the blueprint. I want to follow the blueprint. Okay, success copies success. Failure copies failure.
Hey, you know, here's the thing though, Mickey. Me and you've been doing this show now for 3 years. This is the third year we've been doing this, and and that is one thing that you have never changed saying. You've always said that.
Yes, and so for me, again, trying to lead by example, I took the time to spend some time with coaches that are successful at the higher level. And to a T, body language. Every one of them talk about body language, accountability, work, okay? Keep your grades up. Be a good person. Okay, we're talking about coaches from Florida to Ohio to Indiana, all the way up to Connecticut. All right? So, you know, it's not a situation where these guys, I mean, they got there for a reason. Okay? I was blessed to be able to sit down and have conversations with these guys. And, you know, again, I was lucky enough to watch UK practice for a week and saw some things that they were doing. But again, every one of them, didn't matter whether they were USI, Kentucky, Connecticut, Yale, doesn't matter, Florida State, Ohio State, they all say the same thing. Okay, so if that's the case, listen. Listen to what they're saying and do what they're saying. All right? All success comes from hard work. All of it. No matter what field you're in, whether you're an actor, whether you're an actress, whether you play piano, whether you're a musician, you have to spend time at your craft. And if you're doing something that you love and you're not doing it at least 20 to 30 minutes a day to get better at what it is, then you don't truly love it. You just, you know, and as a competitor, you should want to get better. As a teammate, you should want to get better. So that's the kind of things that I'm pushing, trying to keep them focused, because, you know, you can sit in the spot and you can say, well, we're older, so we're better. Well, naturally you can say that, but there's nobody outside of this room going to lay down for us just because we're older. Nobody's going to sit there and say, well, we're playing Dawson. They got 4 starters back from last year. You know, nobody's saying that.
No.
You know, nobody. So you got to look at it as, hey, it's a fresh year. We're stronger. We're got a little more experience. But the thing that I've got them doing now is watching more film. We had a lot of self-inflicted wounds last year. It's things that we can control. That now that they're watching tape, because I kept telling them, they kind of just blew me off on it. Now they're understanding, because again,
this was the things that you and I would talk about off camera.
Yes. Yes.
And that we didn't bring onto the show and talk about now that the kids are able to see.
Well, they when you sit there, and they sit there and you bring up a mistake. Well, maybe coach is telling the truth. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just saying that to motivate me. They don't know. But when you can break it down in film and show them and say, look, you know, it's just like, you know, I can say this now. When we played Madisonville in the district, I made it very clear who I wanted where, who I wanted to take the ball out, and who I wanted position where, and not to get out of it. Okay? When it started going haywire, we decided not to listen to the coach. We decided we were going to do what we wanted to do instead of listening. And I had to break it down and show them why I put certain people in certain spots and why I wanted them there. Okay? If I'm sitting out there and you got Casey, and Casey's not going to take this personal because he doesn't shoot three-pointers. But if you got Casey out there to try to spread the defense at the three-point line, that doesn't work.
Right.
Because they know he's not going to shoot any threes. They're going to pack it in more. So you don't put the kids in the spot where they won't succeed. All right? You don't put a 5'6" guy down underneath the basket to
get rebounds.
To shoot over 6'7" guys. Now, can they go run and get some rebounds? Because I'm going to tell you, we got a freshman this year that this summer he's worked hard, and he runs down a lot of balls, and so I like what we have. I'm happy where I'm at, but we're just not there on the mental game just yet, because we get complacent because we're older, where we need to never be complacent. Never be complacent. Be better than what you was yesterday. Are we going to fail sometimes? Absolutely. We all fail. That's the biggest learning experience. It's just like, you know, in martial arts, if you're fighting people that's below your level, what are you learning? Nothing. The guys that's faster than me, the guys that are stronger than me, the guys that are younger than me, that's where I learned my defense better, because they're quicker, faster, stronger, you know, and yeah, they're winning, but it's preparing me for in case I need it in the real world down the road. You know, hopefully I will never need it.
Well, and you know, something that we talked about, and this goes back to season 1. You know, you're a rookie coach here. And, you know, people were questioning, well, why are we playing Henderson County? Why are we playing, you know, these schools? And one of the things we talked about, I believe, probably in the very first episode we ever did.
Probably so.
Was because if you don't face schools like this, how are you going to get any better?
Well, I'm still a firm believer that when Denny Crum was at Louisville and his pre-conference schedule was hard, I bought into that, and I wasn't a Louisville fan. I mean, obviously, at that time, I was Kentucky. But I did respect what he did as a coach, because it made sense to me, even at a young age, if I want to get better. You know, that's why Dad had me playing against older kids so much. You know, get beat up, get knocked around, you know. But it's going to help you when you get older. And one of the things that helped me in high school was I was probably stronger than most kids at that time. So it helped me with my rebounding, it helped me with positioning, it helped me with a lot of things.
Right. And Travis Perry just is in with us right now. We'll say hi to Travis.
Hi, Travis. I hope you had a great time in Lexington this weekend. I hope things went well for you.
I'll tell you what, he's had a big summer.
Yes, he has. One to be proud of, but he's worked at it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, when it comes to Travis, you know, I've got to see some things that other people haven't got to see, because of, you know, there for about 2 months, I was given a chance to be around the kid a little more. And, you know, he deserves, in my opinion, every opportunity he's been given. He's earned it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I still get mad when people talk about him being too old. I cannot. It drives me
I know.
crazy on that conversation. I mean, he's now a senior. There's no way the KHSA would let him still be playing. It's just like people just want to be negative on the kid. Instead, let's watch this and enjoy
Let's
it.
watch the magic and watch it happen, because this is a one in a generation thing.
Yeah, I was scared to death we wasn't going to get to play them this year because at the time we didn't have a girls coach and it was scheduled boy-girl. I was scared to death. Well, it's worked itself out and we get to go there. Now, I know what people are saying. Why in the world do you want to go to Lyon County? I mean,
But hold on. But wait, there's more. Why not?
We're chasing them.
Why not have them here? That's the thing. Anyone, and I will say this, anyone who does not want to face Lyon County this year, especially in their own gym, is out of their minds, because
It's going to be packed.
it's going to be packed.
It's going to be your biggest crowd of the year.
This is going to be a 1980s style basketball night where people are swinging off the rafters. Sorry, folks, I'm getting over pneumonia, so.
Well, you got 3 kids there that are extremely special, and again, we talked about this off the air, and I'm going to say it on the air.
Travis says, looks like you're getting some work in.
Yeah, he's right. That team and coaches need to understand something. It's not over after these 3 leave. I am telling you that we've got our work cut out for us, because they might not be as good as what they're going to be this year, but they're not going to be bad by any stretch of the imagination after those 3 leave. That situation, that's why I had to change my coaching. That's why I went off there when we were talking about it. I've had to completely redo everything that I was doing because I watched it firsthand. Okay, small community, 3 kids that if things fall right, all 3 will be playing D1. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm a big fan of Jacks. Okay, I'm a big fan of Shoulders also, and we already know what Air Force offered Shoulders. I thought he took it, but he hadn't taken it yet. He thanked him, but I just misread the tweet wrong, and I even told my dad, so I told my dad wrong. But those 3 kids right there, I mean, in my opinion, because I live right across the river from the University of Evansville, there's absolutely no reason why Shoulders or Riddick, or not both of them, couldn't play for them right now.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, that's just me talking. If I was a college coach and I come in and I watch this team play, I'm offering all 3 of those kids, because you have 3 kids right there who have a chemistry together. I mean, that is impressive.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, like I told you, I'm not thinking about anybody else but them, okay? They have the 3 amigos. We have the 3 Stooges. And, it's fun to play. It's fun, in my opinion, it's fun to be around those guys, and it's fun to play them because they're good, all right? They're good. They play good basketball. And even when there's no fans around, there's no cameras, they still try to do things the right way. And again...
And
look,
respectful.
Oh,
respectful.
Great kids.
The thing
great
is,
kids.
yeah, they could go into a lot of these places and blow a lot of these teams out.
Well, the thing about it is, you going in, you're going to play 32 minutes hard or you're done. Period. Yeah.
As Shannon just said, Lyon County definitely legit. 3 players are stud, but supporting cast is great as well. And he also, a few minutes ago, he mentioned about the travel team that he had backing him up there at Henderson.
Oh, well, they done it. In my opinion, the way Henderson did that travel team is just like the way Shannon did with his travel team.
That's what we're talking about. That's Shannon talking about that.
Shannon Payton?
No, Shannon Troutman.
Troutman. Okay, yes. Shannon. You see, when Madisonville was winning the region, they had done a great job with their young people. With Shannon and Parker and Kemp and all those guys. Again, success copies success. Mm-hmm. And people can't say that that's a negative. That's not, No. Who did Kobe study? He didn't study somebody sitting over on the bench. You know, he wanted to be the greatest. So in his mind at that time, he felt like Jordan was the man, and he wasn't going to back down. And he was going to try to do what Jordan did and try to pass him.
Yeah.
That's the mentality you have to have if you want to be a winner. I told them when I came here, I was not going to be okay with continuing losing. I gave them an opportunity not to hire me because I didn't pull any punches there. All right. I still put academics first. I still put being a good person first. Okay, those two things have to happen because we went over the numbers a while ago. 7% of the kids go to the next level. 1% get to be D1 in any sport. So you have to still preach, be a good person, and you still have to preach the academics. If you don't do that, then you shouldn't be a coach, shouldn't be a teacher. Okay,
Right.
You're not doing what is meant for the kids.
Well, for Mickey Blue, you're a teacher first.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
well, let me back up on that. I'm a father first.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair
that's
enough.
my main job in life is to be a good father. Once that happened, nothing else mattered. Because if I thought that, 3 other people failed.
Right.
Because of 3 boys. So you have to try to be the best father you can be, or you're hurting society. Okay, I don't want to hurt society. Yes, I'm old school, and people don't like that these days. Little thin-skinned here in 2023 compared to the 80s and 90s. Don't care. You know, to be a champion, you cannot be thin-skinned. Can't do it. Right. Sports doesn't care what society's doing. Okay, the cream of the crop is going to rise in sports regardless of politics, regardless of what's going on in society, what's going on in politics. None of that matters. Because at the end of the day, the best players are going to play, period. No coach sits good players. You just don't do it at any level. So sports is where you find out what are you going to be. Are you going to be a quitter? Are you going to just go be average? Or are you going to try to be the best you can be? We get caught up, myself included, we get caught up trying to be better than somebody else. No, I truly now get it. I have to be better than I was yesterday. That's my competition. So when I wake up in the morning, am I going to eat biscuits and gravy instead of eating the right food? Okay? Am I going to do my workouts? Am I going to do the things that's going to help me get healthier? Okay? That's what I have to do. Well, am I going to watch game tape? Am I going to go talk to other coaches? Am I going to be coachable by coaches so I can be better for my kids? You know, you can't just sit there and not learn from these guys when you was given the opportunity that I was given this summer. If I would have wasted this summer, I would have cheated myself and these kids and the school, to be honest, and the community. Because at the end of the day, if we do pull off what you and I talked about off camera, this community they'll be excited, and we still need that here.
It does, and I'm going to stress that, and I'm not going to say, because we agree this is something we're not going to talk about on camera, but here is the one thing that I'm going to say to this school, and I'm going to say it to every school in this area, and I don't care what region you're in. 2, 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, these gymnasiums are going to be open, and these kids are going to be out here performing on these courts, and they're going to be performing for their school, for their peers, and for their towns and their counties. Fill the gym up.
Yes.
Show up and support them. Because, it's a shame that you go into a gymnasium in some of these places and 3/4 of it's empty. And I can remember, and it has not been long ago, Mickey, you and I were in school, and you can remember these gyms were full.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere. I mean, my God, we played at the old Butler Gym in Caldwell County, and that place was rocking. I mean, we literally had people swinging off the rafters.
Well, see, that's the thing people need to understand. Granted, you want to watch your college teams, you want to watch your pro teams. I respect that. But at the end of the day, none of them are going to run into your grocery store around here. None of them are going to open the door for you or help you. hopefully our kids are doing that when we're not around.
It better be.
I hope they are. And it's just like I compare sports to a party. More people, better the party. Louder, more fun. Sports is the same way. That's why this year we're going to be talking to our students, and we're going to go over some stuff on how we want to act and how we're going to avoid negativity and how we're going to get loud and we're going to cheer, boys and girls, not just the boys. We're going to do it for both teams, and we're going to go a different direction with how we do things, because you can't keep doing the same old and expect different results.
Right.
That's why it took a long time on this stuff. What you talked about my health earlier, it took us a long time to get this figured out finally. Things had changed. I gotten older. Metabolism's slower. Can't do the same kind of running with my knee compared to the way I used to. All that stuff you have to adjust and you have to learn. So I had to change, and hopefully it's for the better. So I want my kids to change for the better. I want my students here to change for the better, and I want our players to change for the better. And again, we want to do something special this year. There's a lot of things me and you are going to talk about off the camera, because again, I'm not going to knock. Things can be construed as me knocking them, and in this day and age, I don't want it. I don't want the negativity. I don't want the drama. So you and I will talk about stuff that can be considered controversial off the air. I know you don't care. You're okay with it, but
yeah,
So and that's okay.
I've had enough getting my butt jumped on this year already.
Yeah, I respect the way you do things, but I'm taking a different approach on everything, even with dealing with you on the air. Now me and you off the air, we're going to be the same no matter what. You've showed me support. I consider you a true friend, so that won't change. But I want people to understand that sooner or later, Dawson is going to be great in academics and in sports if I live long enough to see this through. These things take time. Again, I know this is going to come across as negative and feel like I'm attacking somebody, but we're in a situation right now that our girls softball, unfortunately, still doesn't have a field to practice on. Our kids in this community do not have a park to go play in, and we're now getting ready to hit the third summer for that. Okay, this is not a Dawson Springs issue. This isn't even a Kentucky issue. This is an issue that goes to the federal level. All right, I am not coming at you mean. I'm not coming out saying this side or this side. I'm not saying that. I don't like either side. Everybody knows this that knows me. I don't like politics. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to make a decision and say, hey, those girls, those kids in Dawson matter more than just sitting here. Because if you can send the money that you're sending to other places, you can take care of some of these kids here in our town for a lot less and get our park built back for these kids.
I'll come right out and say crap or get off the pot.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. I just know that it's not our faculty. It's not our park people. Right. It's not our city. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not our state government.
It's not the government. It's not the governor's office.
I'm not saying anything negative about any of those.
Nope.
All I'm saying is whoever the person is that's making these decisions, our kids need it, because the more we go without it, we understand this community. We understand we don't have big industries here. We're small. We start losing kids because they don't want to do sports just because they don't have it. Then we're in a situation where we're giving kids idle hands, or we're giving kids a reason to leave Dawson Springs. Now, I personally wouldn't leave Dawson Springs strictly because of the education. Right. I love the other schools that I've worked for, but there's just the education-wise and the teachers we have here, and again, we've said it before on the air, they're good. They're really good. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate what they do with my boy, and take the sports out of it. I like the way his education is flowing. I really do. So,
and there again, that goes back to the number one thing, grades, being a good citizen. The kids that come out of this school are good kids.
Oh yeah.
The kids that come out of all these schools are good kids. I'm not going to say they're not. Of course, you're always going to have that one or two or
that's anywhere.
That's everywhere. But I mean, the thing is, what we're looking at is, we're looking at a situation that this town, number one, didn't choose what hit them on December 10th. Nobody in this area chose that. It doesn't matter if it's Mayfield or Dawson or Bremen or any of these other towns, Princeton, whatever. None of these towns chose that. But that's the lot that has been dealt. And we've got to make it right, because we've got to make it right for the future generations.
Correct.
I fully agree with you. And I know sitting here just a minute ago, Tara Huddleston said FEMA needs to release it so we can get the both boys and girls a field to play on. 3 years is ridiculous, and she's right.
Well, see, the boys have been lucky because of the park.
Because they can play down there.
Yeah, the boys have been lucky. And again, I'm not knocking
And the
boys.
thing is, and they got lucky because it wasn't sitting underwater all spring. It could have been sitting underwater all spring. You never know down there.
Well, I'm a soft look. My business. Softball's my business. I probably watched more softball games in my life than any other sport. Mm-hmm. And our kids, they deserve better. And again, I don't know who's making decisions. It's none of my. Obviously, that's above my pay grade. But I know now, with it being the third year, I'm now will be with this school the third year, and I've not watched one home game in softball.
Right.
Not one.
It's been.
It
was before you came to this school that I think that they played their last home game here.
I was actually assistant with Union County, and we played here.
Yeah.
And that's what actually the night that I met Rhonda. I believe that's the first time I met Ron.
Because I know I took pictures here, and I don't believe you were the basketball coach here yet. I think you took over that fall as basketball coach.
Yes.
Because I've been doing this a lot longer than I thought I had been.
I'm not getting any younger.
No, but like I said, everything that's going on here, and you guys have excelled at making a difference with what you've had to work with. Like I said, we talked about this weight room. You talked about this weight room before the season last year, kind of ad nauseum we'd love to see something like this. And here we are. And again, for those who joining in late, this is what has transpired with just a dream, donations coming in, people helping the school out. And of course, we named some of those folks earlier in the show. Things are looking up. These kids are getting a better shake. They are doing better for themselves.
PE's in here now.
Good.
So, it's, again, nothing happens overnight, okay? This whole process of getting our kids in better athletic shape, healthier, it's coming, and we got a lot of work to do. I still would like to see a building over there, another auxiliary gym. A hitting cage for the baseball and the softball, an indoor facility, kind of like what Caldwell County just opened up there.
Well, did you happen to see the news this past week? Our good friends down at St. Mary have now got an auxiliary gym down at their place.
Good for them.
And that's another little bitty school.
Well, that's also a school that struggled with the sport. I think, and I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think at one time, They lost girls basketball at one time and got it back, and then last year they didn't have a softball team. Okay, we didn't get to play them last year, so they understand the struggles, but see, they're still working to try to make things better too. Mm-hmm. So kudos to them. So I would like to see it somehow, some way, because I know right now that we're in a better spot than when I came. Not knocking anybody before me. This right here was a huge plus for our kids, all right? Still got a lot of work to do on the court and off the court. I don't know how we're going to get the money raised to get the building that I want here. I know we're still trying to figure it out, but I would love to see a multi-purpose auxiliary gym for all the kids right there. Or, you know what, make the parking lot there, then put the building out there in that parking lot. I don't know. I don't care. Just get it done. You know, let's just figure it out, and let's just, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a good start, you know, and our kids need to take advantage of it. And let's get.
I mean, the thing is, there are a lot of really good athletes here.
Yes.
There's a lot of really good athletes coming up through the middle school ranks. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to drop any names, but
Right.
we know who they are. I mean, and there are kids who are really trying. We have a lot of kids who are playing multiple sports, which you have in small schools. It doesn't matter if
Right.
you're Lyon County, doesn't matter if it's Crittenden County, Dawson Springs. We mentioned St. Mary, Hickman County. Any of these little bitty counties, there's a lot of multiple sport players. And these kids are doing the best that they can. And the thing that we have to give them is all the tools that we can give them.
Correct.
So that they can be the best that they can be.
Yes, and again, like we've talked about before, let's keep working to get better. Let's stay focused and just listen to the adults. All right? Any good adult who understands their failures and their shortcomings, they try to make sure their kids don't follow. Or any kid they come in contact with. I mean, I literally had a conversation with a girl at Walmart last night from Henderson. She was talking about, you know, hey, I'm going to finally start making money, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I said, make sure you put 10% for savings. Whatever you're going to make, go ahead and put 10% for savings, because by the time you're 40, 45, you'll be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Facts are the facts,
Right.
you know. And,
Wisdom.
you know, I didn't know that, or I didn't listen, one of the two. You know, there might have been somebody said something to me, but it didn't sink in like it sinks now that I have my own family. So, and then the fact that I don't have that million at 51.
And the fact that we're all working till 95 now.
Well, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably a guy that probably would never retire anyway. I like these 4 days for me been rough because I haven't done much. You know, other than I've worked on my body a little bit, made sure I ate clean. You know, made sure I stayed on top of Rex and what he needs to get done. But at the end of the day, we just have to make these kids better, and we should applaud the kids are doing well. You know, just back to the Travis Perry thing. Like I said, it drives me nuts when I hear anybody say anything negative about it. I can't stand it. Mm-hmm. He's not perfect, and he knows it. And he made it. But he had a perfect interview when he talked about how he wanted to. He still needed to get better. His game needed to get better. He needed to keep putting it into his craft. We're talking about the leading scorer of all time in the state of Kentucky one more year. And he's saying all the right things. Mm-hmm. So learn from him. Don't hate on him.
Exactly. Rob Day, you know Rob.
Yes. Yes.
And unfortunately, the camera has flipped here on me, and I'm trying to get it to
showing
flip
you
back.
now?
There we go. No, it flipped over to where it was sideways. And,
Got you. What did he add?
Rob Day says, our Lyon County student athletes have learned never to settle for mediocrity. Hard work and dedication is what it takes. And he's right.
Well, you know what kid that probably doesn't get the notoriety that he should? Is the Collins kid.
You know,
that kid's as hard-nosed as any kid that I've ever been around.
Go out there and get the ball. Just go out there and get the ball back. That's all.
I don't think I honestly think he would go through a gorilla to get a rebound.
Yep.
And I'm saying that as a compliment. That's why the future for them is still bright.
Yep. He is as tough as a pine knot. And now I want to acknowledge what I was talking about some athletes here just a minute ago, and I saw Hunter throw one up here a minute ago, and I want to go back and acknowledge it because
Let's go to it.
He is correct in exactly what he said. And let's see. Jaron Johnson.
Oh.
Jaron Johnson, he said he is that dude this year. Yes, Jaron Johnson is definitely that dude. And this is a kid that this time last year, I can remember seeing him on the sideline in Union County in a knee brace, and didn't look like he was ever going to play again. Of course, he's what, 5'5", maybe 150 pounds,
Yeah, but see,
soaking wet. But
I-
that's the toughest kid I ever seen.
I've had the honor of being around that kid because him and Rex are on the same AAU basketball team. Mm-hmm. And man, nothing but kudos to that kid for the football season he's having. Now, if you want to take a break during basketball season, go right ahead. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing him on the basketball court too. I mean, that family's been good to me and Rex, and
Brady Shoulders has come in with us here, and I know there was probably something that you might want to say.
no,
to him.
not on camera.
But
no, Brady, you and your family are in our prayers,
definitely.
and we definitely love you, and sorry about it.
Yeah, we definitely heart goes out to you guys, and we do. We love you here. You need anything, you know where we're at,
That's right.
and that goes from both of us. But and look forward to seeing. I look forward to seeing this guy this
Well,
year.
his I'm gonna tell a little story. I might get a little emotional, but I'm gonna try not to. His dad, his grandfather he took me to my first UK game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and you know what I remember the most about that? And Brandon was actually laughing about this yesterday when we were talking. We were texting back and forth, and he said a laughing emoji. The thing that I remember the most was I had never experienced white chocolate until I went to that game with them. And I'm telling you, I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I was like, what is that? And Bobby was saying, it's white chocolate. And I remember tasting that, and I think I ate the whole bag. And I was like, I think he just shook his head. And I remember him telling my parents about, boy, you really like that white chocolate. So, unfortunately, hey, 73 years old, we're going to miss him too. And good guy, great guy. I grew up in Clay with Brandon, and it's funny how I absolutely adore Brandon's dad, and he loves my dad. So it's just something I guess we do in Clay.
That's that's the great thing about this whole area here, and and I'm going to say this because of course there's the 800-pound elephant in the room, and we have not talked about this. I'm from this area.
Right.
I grew up here. I moved away, and for up until last year, the majority of my life, I had lived away from here. And there's a lot of things that I can say good. There's a lot of things I can say bad. But the thing with this area is, we know each other. We respect each other. There's something about this side of the rivers, you get over the other side of the rivers in the Purchase area, those folks, they know each other.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
their thing. You get this side of the river, these folks know each other. And it's just like you have these little bitty regions, And
Well, this whole region did, in my opinion, did very well during the tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Madisonville, their basketball team, Coach Newton at the time, they brought their players here. They was up here working. Other schools did the same thing.
Day two.
Yeah,
Trigg County coming up here
Yes.
with 3 busloads of stuff
Yes.
to the school. I mean,
So we
shout out to Matt Wilder on that.
Yes.
And
When we-
of course, Matt's at Lyon County now.
Yep.
Great move for them. I hated to see Zach go, but if Zach's going to go, Matt Wilder's the guy you want to bring in.
Well, this community shows what it's about when things go bad. I mean, we can yell at each other, not like each other during sporting events, but when things that matter the most, I feel like this is the best area in the world.
I agree.
And I do believe that. I mean, no, we don't have the big cities, and we don't have this or that. But my last trip, unfortunately, was up in Pittsburgh, and I watched 2 young men come in there and steal everything they wanted and walk out. Nobody did anything about it.
Yeah.
You hear about that stuff and you see it, but until you actually witness it, you're thinking, "Oh wow." I mean, it was. I mean, Holly was right there. We were in Pittsburgh, and we were at a Rite Aid, and I put 2 and 2 together why so much stuff is locked down. because all I wanted was a razor, and I had to go ask for them to go open it up to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I know why.
Welcome to the city.
Yeah. So I love our people here in this area, and it's home. And I do travel. I got to lucky enough this past year is probably the most traveling I've ever done, and I learned a lot. And hopefully, the knowledge that these other people have given me will help our boys. So, we only promise I'm going to make on this year's team is that we're going to try to be better than yesterday. That's it. And how many wins that ends up being, so be it. Sometimes it's not about the wins. What if we're really good at the end of the year after having a terrible first half? That's what I like in a coach is my kid better or is the team better than the first day?
Perseverance.
So we're going to put in the work. We got several still running cross country. Practice will be a little light the first 2 weeks because I believe the 28th is the state.
Yeah.
And then after that will be.
I think it's this weekend here coming up.
Numbers. We won't be. We'll still be hitting it hard and working on each player trying to get better individually. But we'll hit it as a team real hard that first week in November, and then we play 2 scrimmage games we have 2 varsity scrimmage games at Murray State University with a JV that day on the 11th, and then the 18th we get to go to Mayfield. So we got our 2 scrimmages there and. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm more organized. So hopefully, if I'm better, they'll be better. So
there we go, Coach. We're gonna have to wrap it up because actually I'm watching my battery drain right now.
Hey, that's good. I got another 60-minute drive anyway.
But the thing is, it's always good to get this season tipped off. We talked about we was going to do this last week, of course.
You were sick.
I was sick last week. You told me you weren't feeling good.
Yeah,
so.
I was having some stomach issues because I was getting used to. I've weaned myself off medicine, which is a good thing. And for whatever reason, this week, knock on wood, has been a lot better since the first week was just a little weird for me. But guys, I want to echo what he said, and then I'll shut up. Go support your high school teams. These kids get one chance, and I assure you the memories will be better for them. Even if it's a failure memory, okay? Mm-hmm. Please come support your kids wherever they are. Get the communities back into where it used to be in the 80s, where it was packed. Do this for the kids. It's going to be fun. You can maybe even learn something about these kids because hopefully in between games or getting ready for a game, you get an opportunity to converse with them. I know, again, we've talked a lot about Travis tonight. My dad didn't really talk much about his basketball ability. He talked about how he came over there and talked to him and how he was such a good young man. Mm-hmm. That's what Dad spoke about the most. Not his 3-pointers, not his rebounds, not his assists. He spoke about how
he's just a good kid.
Just a good kid and how he interacted with my dad. So you guys can do that with these kids everywhere.
Something that I want to say too, and Mickey, I hope you'll agree with me on this. Some of you kids who maybe are juniors and seniors who haven't played or haven't played in a couple of years. Look, if you're a senior, this is your last ride. Come out for a basketball team. Come out for a sports team. Go out and do something. You're never going to regret it. Like you said, even if you fail, you're not going to regret it. You're going to learn something.
Well,
But the thing is,
I'm with you.
Come out and do it. I mean, I've talked to some of the kids up at Crittenden County. I've got one I've been on a little bit, and I'll go ahead and mention her by name. Riley Smith. You better be out for the basketball team, and if your daddy's watching, I know he'll say something to you too.
The Gobin kid hadn't played basketball in a while, had he?
Who's that?
Gobin from Crittenden?
No, he hadn't.
And he had
last
solid
year.
high school year.
So,
but he also has to be 6, whatever he is, and built the way he is. That helps a lot.
But go out and be a part of this and help your school.
Well, if you can't be a player, come support. Again, It's just way more fun.
If you can't be a player hater.
Well, again, it doesn't even have to be here in Dawson, which I prefer it to be here in Dawson. But again, support your kids, go have some fun, take the family out to eat, whatever. Just spend some time in your local gyms and support your kids.
There you go. Mickey, I appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
And we will make this a little more regular this year, and we'll keep ourselves out of trouble. Maybe.
I'm definitely keeping myself out.
No promises.
Matter of fact, if you say something, you may see me go pause, and it's nothing against you because you be you, but there's just going to be some things this year I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, we're not going to be mean.
No.
But that'll be for my podcast. So, if y'all want to hear the mean stuff, tune into the radio show, tune into the podcast.
Well, at the end of the day, I never want to do anything that's going to embarrass Dawson Springs.
No, definitely not.
So I'm going to make sure that and again, nobody has came to me and told me to do this, okay? I've not gotten any.
No.
I understand my position here. I understand what I'm representing and what I'm trying to do to try to make Dawson better. So with that being said, I'm going to do better. I've already told people you'll probably see me a little different on the sidelines when it comes to handling questionable calls.
No chairs across the floor.
Well, I still haven't done that. Now, I do though, and if I knew
Come on, Bobby Knight.
if I knew I wouldn't get in trouble, I'd like to put a board holder up there, and when I don't like something, instead of saying something, just go in there and just punching right through the wood, just to get a reaction out of people. But then you take it, you'll get somebody say, "Oh, he supports violence," so
yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
Oh me, but again, thank you so much, and folks, thank y'all for tuning in and listening to us and being a part of the West Kentucky Sports Network. Be sure to hit our YouTube page, like and subscribe to that. You have no idea how important that is, especially to Chad for the work that he does. We need those subscriptions, and please go into the YouTube page, like and subscribe that because he needs that to help him. It doesn't help me. It helps our videographer. And Lord knows that he needs all the help that he can get right now. So we appreciate you. And as we always say, West Kentucky Sports Network, everywhere you are. And we're all over the place. So y'all have a good night. And we look forward, Mickey, seeing you again, hopefully here in maybe next week or week after next, after we get a little practice in.
Yes, sir.
See what we're looking at. And we'll chat it up and figure it out as the season goes on, and look forward to seeing a podcast from me and Ricky Baker. That's supposedly coming. I'm hoping that'll be starting back up soon. We've been talking about it. We just ain't got it done since February. So, but anyhow, thank you guys again for tuning in, and we'll see you all soon.